Young man Jack Flaherty grows up in Los Angeles, goes to school here, gets drafted first round by the St. Louis Cardinals, spent like 7 years there, good organization, and then he ends up in Detroit. And one day you're in your clubhouse, Jack Flaherty joining us, 8 years. July 30th, GM comes up to you and says, you've been traded to the Dodgers. Was your first reaction, oh, that's a lot of pressure?
No, definitely was not. That's a lot of pressure. It's like, wow, I can't believe that this is real. I can't believe this is happening. I knew I was going to get traded. It was pretty much, it was made very evident to me, like, yeah, we're going to move you. We don't know where. And then it's going to be the Dodgers. And I'm like, how quickly can I get this text off to my mom before it breaks? Because this is going to happen really quick. Just so she didn't see it from elsewhere and be like, and I just one word was Dodgers. And, yeah, that was all my thought.
So, and they relied on you. We said, it's almost remarkable they won, 40 different pitchers used. In all 3 series, I'd never seen this, a bullpen game in the World Series. Yeah. I said out loud, I thought the Padres had you. The Padres series was different because that team is all attitude. And when you came here, did you realize how intense the Dodger-Padre rivalry was?
No, I think you see it. You could see the games. You see the way that it had gone and the way that it had gone over the last couple of years. I think it was 22 when San Diego beat them. But I didn't realize the record difference on the season until we played them. Because I got there it was the series. They were playing in San Diego. They had one more game. I flew in just to be there with the team before we took off for Oakland. And, they beat us pretty bad. It was a rough day. But the atmosphere was awesome, but then it was just different. I didn't really realize how intense it was. I had been in rivalries before with us and the Cubs, being in St. Louis, but that one was
trash talking.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth, and it kind of felt like the second we didn't react to everything that was going on and we played our game and we worried about us, the better position we were in. Like, just kind of like one of those things, like it felt like they were trying to get under our skin.
Yes.
And, personally, like, I let it happen in game 2 where things got emotional. And it felt like once we just worried about us and went about our business and relaxed a little bit, we were able to relax a little bit before game 4. And, we took care of business.
So Freddie Freeman, these first inning home runs are insane. As a pitcher, we don't think that offense, we know, pitching with a lead probably helps a little, but it felt like those Freeman home runs kind of changed the pitching, like it almost gave you guys more confidence. You were more aggressive. Does 100%, it change?
100%. Pitching with a lead absolutely is a difference, especially in playoffs when you have a lead and you can go out and attack the other team and you can go out and it opens the door to go get strike one and just to go right at guys and to be aggressive and not really worry about, like, I gotta pitch the corners. And especially if you're on the road, now you've got momentum going out there. And it's just like, how quickly can I get these guys back to hitting? And how quickly can we get, these guys back up again? So for me, my job at that point is how quickly, let's just get these guys out and get these guys back in the dugout and let them keep swinging it, and let's build this lead and let's end this game early, because momentum in the playoffs is a real thing, and it's everything. And once that thing starts to shift, things can happen quickly and can go in whatever direction that it wants to go.
One of the things that struck me, Jack Flaherty joining us, if you're listening on radio, Dodger great, came July 30th at the deadline from Detroit and was really crucial in the playoffs. I'm struck by Ohtani's the biggest superstar in the game. Mookie Betts is one of the greatest. I compare him to Joe Morgan. Probably you wouldn't remember that as well. Joe Morgan, I thought, was the best baseball player I ever saw. But because he was around Johnny Bench and Pete Rose, he was overshadowed. Yeah. Mookie Betts, similarly, is an insane talent. Mm-hmm. I don't understand where he generates that power. And then you have Freddie Freeman and guys like you. And then Clayton Kershaw's not pitching, but there's an aura around him. Yeah. And then Walker Buehler, and here's Dave Roberts having to manage injuries and resources. I'm struck by the body language, how positive. I don't sense ego. Oh, if Ohtani wanted to be a jerk, he could be.
Yeah, he could be.
When you came to the organization, Were you immediately embraced?
I was, and it was one of those things. I had known a handful of guys on the team already. So for me coming in, and I had known Doc a little bit, and we had family friends that knew each other. So I felt like it wasn't a bunch of, hey, nice to meet yous. It was a bunch of, hey man, good to see you. Like we all knew each other. It wasn't like, hey, I'm so-and-so. It wasn't, hey, I'm Will Smith. Hey, I'm Mookie Betts. It was like, Mook, it's good to see you. Will, like, how we doing? How are we going to make this thing happen? So it was a lot more of that, where I have known or gotten to know some of these guys a little bit, where they just they brought me in, embraced me. And I felt like I just seamlessly fit in and was able to go out, have a good start in Oakland, and just go from there. We had a bunch of injuries, but it was really just next man up. Whoever was ready to pitch, whoever was ready to go that day, give it everything you got and just go out and do it.
I thought the Padres actually matched up better than the Yankees or Mets did against you. I thought they kind of matched up, but they're a team, as you told me during the break, they play with a lead. There are a lot of emotion. They don't play as well from behind. Going into the World Series, and I just looked at the batting order, and I thought, once you get past like a Stanton down, I just thought that your pitching would beat their hitting. Whereas you guys can put Tommy Edman batting ninth, and it's like he'll eat you alive. What was the scouting report going into the World Series? Was there a sense that you feel like we got the better team here?
Look, I think that for me, it was just trying to keep guys off base when it was you have to get the bottom of the order out, because once you get up, if you've got guys on base and then you've got, Glaber, Soto, Judge, and Stanton coming up, you've got problems. You got a lot of problems. So you have to get the bottom of the order out so that you're not facing those guys with runners on. And if I can get to a point where I'm facing, Soto, Judge, and Stanton without runners on, we'd be in a better spot. We trusted our lineup, what they were going to do. You got the NLCS MVP hitting ninth for part of it when we got it, which is crazy. But that goes to the no ego thing. Is Tommy has no ego. He won the MVP. He was unbelievable in NLCS. Hey, by the way, we're going to hit you ninth. But then, against Rodon, we're going to hit you fifth because you're maybe a little bit better right-handed. But none of those guys had any ego. Mookie, Shohei, Freddie, they just wanted to do whatever it took to win. And they did it. And that comes down to sac flies. You got Mookie celebrating sac flies, which it's not to say he wouldn't do that in the regular season, but the emotion that he would show of I got the job done. We got to run, because every single run mattered and what we were able to do. So it was, the whole playoffs was a grind, and our offense, they showed up and really they helped us throughout the World Series.
You've pitched St. Louis, good franchise, been a little lean in recent years. Detroit's had down years. I watched the R&D for the Dodgers. They don't miss on trades very often. They bring up minor league guys. They're all good. They overachieve. For a team that could spend a lot of money and overspend, they spend it smartly. They passed on Manny Machado, Zach Greinke. They don't always just spend the most money. I still can't figure out how they got Mookie Betts and why Boston let him go. But how is it different? Do you feel, having been with you've been Cards, Orioles, Tigers, Dodgers. Yeah. This is not to knock other teams. I always felt the Dodgers were kind of elegant. They're kind of stately. Does it feel different? You feel the that they're any place they go, they're the bigger, better team. And, Matt Kemp, he told me this. He said it's just different wearing the Dodger blue, and it's different having Dodgers across your chest. He said, guys just come here, and the level of their game just steps up for whatever reason. And maybe it's the guys you're playing with that make you feel like, hey, I'm on the same level as this guy. I get to work with him every day. Or the staff that they bring around and how much staff that they have to give you information or to help you out, and the way that they watch you work, go about your business, the way they watch you throw, the way that their meetings are held, everything. It is top tier from top to bottom. And every single part of it goes that way. And I think it goes a long way where you continue to see the success throughout the regular season, no matter who's out there. It's not the same team every year. There's a different piece here and there. And then, the playoffs just comes down to playoffs, anything can happen. Yeah. And I know that they
they caught a lot for not winning in the past, but anything can happen in baseball in the playoffs. The best team doesn't win every year, and the Dodgers they've been the best team. And when you go to certain cities, teams are like, okay, like we got a real team coming in now, and that's the feeling that you get when you play them.
When the Yankees melted down in the fifth, I mean, it was, I've never seen anything like it.
Never seen it.
And they were not a great fielding team to begin with. You guys were a better fielding team. But when you're in that dugout, because it kind of felt like we're going back to L.A.
Yeah.
We're going back to L.A.
Felt that way.
And in that fifth inning, I'm going, oh, the Yankees are playing tight, which is remarkable because you're the favorite and you played loose.
Yeah.
They're their underdog. And could you sense they just got tight?
I think we could sense it from the feeling in the stands. Like before the intros of Game 3, whatever reason, we were all kind of looking at each other and just were like, it feels like a nervous energy in the stands. And we couldn't quite pinpoint it. And we were like, let's just go out and play and like have some fun. We got Walker Buehler on the mound, one of the best big game pitchers that there is. Like he's going to go do it. Our bullpen is fresh and healthy because, Yamamoto had pitched well the day before. And I did enough in Game 1. And it was like, let's go out, win this game, and end this series and go up 3-0. So we, it felt. And then Game 5, that inning was crazy. Everything that could have gone wrong for them did.
Everything.
And we still had to capitalize because that play with Rizzo and Cole happens, and we're like, oh my goodness, like thank goodness. But then Freddie gets a hit, Teo gets a hit, and now we're tie ball game, and now it's like, okay. Now
you took advantage of the momentum. They gave you an opening, and you took advantage.
We took advantage. That's the way it goes. Momentum is a huge thing. I didn't pitch well to start the game. They had all the momentum. Cole's throwing a no-hitter. We get a couple guys on, an error here or there, and all it took was one hit from Freddie, and then it was game on.
So you're intense on the mound.
Yeah.
You look like you are, and it's funny. Dave Roberts is the nicest guy. It feels like.
He is.
And you pitch sometimes angry.
A little bit.
You are. I mean that. You're like intimidating looking. So when you were coming today, I'm like, this guy, he's got an edge. When Roberts comes to the mound, do you guys? Is it always like an understanding? Do you ever fight to stay in? What are those? Because you're a very intense guy out there, and you're not in person, but you are on the mound. When Dave comes out there, has it ever gotten intense?
No. Every time he's come out, he has signaled before he got out there that he was gonna to bring in the bullpen. There was only one time where we had a discussion, and it was my first home start against the Pirates, and I got through 5 innings, and he comes over to me, and I know he's going to tell me, hey, you're done. And I just kind of look at him. I just was like, no. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, no, I'm good. I felt like that day I could throw 150 pitches and my arm was going to be fine and I had plenty in the tank. And he was like, okay. And he walked back and I went out and I threw 110 pitches or whatever it was. Like, and he came out to get me. I didn't finish the inning. And, some of the pitchers were like, we even like seen that where we let a guy go over 100 pitches. It's your like second start here. And I was like, I don't know, man. I felt like I could throw 150 pitches today. And Doc, to his credit, was like, okay, like if you say you got it, like sure. And he let me go out and I, pitched well for that inning, didn't get out of it. And he came and got me at the right time. So that was the only time. Otherwise, the discussions on the mound, we haven't had any. It was usually, hey, good job, we're going to get you. Or, I didn't pitch well and it was like, hey, we're going to pick you up. We're going to go win this game, which is kind of how Game 5 was. It was like, hey, we're going to pick you up. We got you.
Obviously, you knew before you got here how great Ohtani was. What was the moment when he was a teammate? It could have been at the cage. It could have that you went, all right, that's different.
There was a ball that he hit. It was against Colorado, against Kyle Freeland, and he took a pitch that was up and in, left on left, and it was a pitch up here, and he hit it out to left center, and he hit it about 10 rows deep into left center, which you don't do as a left-handed hitter at all. And then we all went and watched exactly where the pitch was, and then we saw it's 2 balls above the zone, and he hit it out, and we were like, that's not normal. And they had watched him all year and been with him, and everybody was still like, wow, that was incredible. And Sho is just, he'll just be like,
He looks like a movie star.
Yeah, he is. He's a stud. That dude he's incredible, and he's as cool, calm, and collected as they come. He just him showing some emotion is different, but he's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
By the way, Erewhon is a very bougie. It's very high end. You've gone total LA. You've got your own smoothie at Erewhon. My daughter's like, she tells me she'll go to Erewhon. I'm like, is Dad paying for it? Because I know what it costs to get a smoothie at Erewhon. You've got your own smoothie.
Yeah.
You're uptown. Look at it. Is that yours?
Oh. Yeah, that's the smoothie right there.
Before the big game?
It was right before the World Series.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Full-blown L.A.
Yeah.
What a story. Your mom ran the Little League. I think it's Sherman Oaks.
Yeah, Sherman Oaks Little League.
Your backstory is incredible. You become a Dodger. You're so valuable. And this was a real pleasure. You are welcome anytime.
I appreciate that.
You're kind of intimidating when you pitch. They told me you were on the show Tuesday, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to get Jack worked up. But you know what? You do put the classic game face on. Is the day you pitch different upstairs?
It's very different. It's very different. I come in, I don't talk to anybody, and
really?
I think it's a different thing. And guys are, they got to ask, like, do you like to talk on days you pitch? And I just no. And then they start to realize, like, that's just how I got to be.
It is game day.
Yeah, it's different.
Great meeting you.
I appreciate it.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.